Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's always a great time for learning. Uh, Thank you for joining the Spiritist Talk series promoted by the United States Spiritist Federation every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm delighted today to host this talk by Gustavo Silveira, who will be talking about Blessed are the pure in spirit, for they will see God. Let's all give Gustavo a very warm welcome. And before he starts his presentation, I would like to introduce him. Hey, Gustavo, how are you? I see. Okay. So basically, Gustavo, he is originally from Araxá, that's in the state of Minas Gerais in Brazil. And he currently lives in Uberlândia. He actively contributes to Spiritist studies through his involvement with the platform Spiritist.net. Additionally, he also participates in the podcast Café and Spiritism, Café com Espiritismo in Portuguese, which is available in both Portuguese and English translations. And as always, during our presentation, feel free to send your questions or comments during the presentation using the chat window. And Gustavo has reserved time to address your comments and questions when he concludes his presentation. And I believe that Gustavo is still having we're still having some technical difficulties here. It's all part of fashion. Technology works beautifully when it works. All right. Gustavo still having some issues there. Again, folks, patience, because again, technology works beautifully when it works, and it doesn't. It gives us a little bit of, it's all part of learning. So I'm going to take the opportunity, I'm just going to read the passage of the gospel. And if you allow me to give me some time here, where I get there, while Gustavo gets the technology to cooperate. And of course, we have our friends from the technical team in the background working whatever issues they're having. So it's one second here. Still no Gustavo. Just 1 second. Sorry about the little technical hiccups. All right, no Gustavo. So I'm just going to read the passage of the gospel here. So this is chapter 8, Blessed are the pure in spirit. And here Jesus talks to us about simplicity and purity of the heart. And blessed are the pure in spirit. That's in Matthew chapter 5, verse 8. So blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Yeah, so, okay, good. So Gustavo will be back here soon. So again, that's chapter 8, chapter 5 of the Gospel by Matthew, and verse 8. And this is also a very interesting passage here because it's related to when they brought young children to Jesus, and they asked him, to touch the children, and his disciples, they rebuked those that brought them. They say, hey, do not bother the master. But when Jesus saw it, he was very displeased. Jesus was not happy because it was a tense scene, and that is like breaks the harmony, of course. And he said unto them, suffer the little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, For such is the kingdom of God. Verily I say unto you, whosoever shall not receive the kingdom of God as a little child, he shall not enter therein. And he took them up in his arms, put his hands upon them, and blessed them. So it's kind of interesting when we think about, when we reflect about the need of purity of heart and simplicity and humility. And because it kind of, it's a whole package, right? It's a whole package. When you try to be pure, when you try to be simple, humble, you can, it's kind of hard to perceive that somebody would have humility. Hey, Gustavo, you're back. I was like, yeah, you're on mute still.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was like trying to fill out your shoes, but it's like such big shoes to fill. But but you can carry on, my friend. And thanks
Uh,
again. Thanks for joining us. And well, the floor is yours.
okay, thank you. Sorry everyone for my late. I was having an internet failure connection here, but I could connect now. Just a second. Okay, now I think everything is okay. Let me know. Let me know if anything goes wrong. But yeah, so, first of all, thanks for everyone who's watching, who will watch in the future. Thanks for the United Spirits Federation um, for the invite, for trust me again to. Uh, okay, John is it's confirming. Okay, thanks, John. Thanks, Calcio. And yeah, it's a pleasure for me to be here. It's a very good opportunity, and what I have prepared for us to talk today is about this Jesus phrase, like "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God." This is treated by Allan Kardec in the Gospel according to Spiritism in the chapter 8, and Kardec said many things important for us to understand what this is related to and the consequence of this in our daily life, let's say. Because when we hear the blessed are the pure in heart, maybe we can think of the pure spirits only. But what Kardec helped us to think is that this is more related to our daily lives than to exactly um, a process ending of the spirit, let's say. Um, but first, for us to start our conversation here, I would like to go through a question in the Spirit's book that it's not directly related to our subject today, but it's very it will make sense at the end. Is the question 632, and Kardec asks, since humans are prone to error, couldn't they be mistaken in discern good from evil and believe that they are doing what is good when in reality they are doing what is evil? So this is a very important question, because here Kardec is saying that we can uh, we can do things thinking that we're doing good, but we are not, and we maybe confuse ourselves in our routine, in our daily lives, because we believe what we're doing is good, but when we analyze everything, when we like put everything clear, we see that maybe we fail. So this is a very important question: how to distinguish, how to avoid mistakes, how to act to the others and to ourselves in a good manner, so we can be more aware of everything we're doing, and also in the not only what we are doing, but how we are feeling about what we're doing. This is a very important thing. Not only the action is important, but also the feeling is important as well, because our actions, in, like in general cases, our actions borns in our feeling. So Kardec is worried about our motivations and our way of doing things. So um, spirits will answer a very short answer actually, but a very important and a very deep answer. They said, Jesus said, "Do unto the others what you want, what you would want them do unto you." That sums up everything. You will never go wrong. And why this is important? This is important because they are saying that if I look to myself and think what I want them to do to me, this will be um, a very good way to think what I have to do to the others. But there is one thing here that we need to think more about, which is if, let's say, if I like blue color, for example, and I use this as a parameter for give presents to the other, like give gifts for the other people, um, this can lead me to do wrong, like to give a gift that it's not what the other wants. So I can think, but I would like to earn to receive a blue collar T-shirt, for example, and this means that I have to give blue T-shirts to the others. No, no, because um, what Jesus is saying is deeper from this. Because when we think what when we think what I like, what I want people to do to me, it's even deeper than things that I like. What I really want is someone to know me so so much that they know that I like blue colors, so they give me a blue T-shirt. That's the point. Um, when I think I like a blue color, so I would like to wear a blue T-shirt. Actually, what I really want is to people know me as much as they can know that I like blue colors. So, in the basis of the basis of Jesus' thoughts is know the others so much that you can do to them what they really want, because that's exactly what you want them to do to you. What we really want is to people know us so much that they know what we really want. So this is the invite for us to do to the others. But that's a point that connects us to our theme today. Because for me to do that, for me to know the other so much that I understand um, what the other likes, what the other wants, what the other thinks, I will have to start to worry about them as much as I worry about me, let's say. I will have to see them. I'll have to pay attention to them. I'll have to understand them. I'll have to try to like put me on their feet, let's say, so I can see the world as they see. I can feel the world as they feel. So that's the main thinking here. Do unto others what you would want them to do unto you is a very deep process of understanding ourselves to get this point. What we really want from the others is they pay so much attention on us that they know us, they understand us. So that's the invite for us to do to the others. And this will require from us to abandon our selfishness, to watch the others, to understand and to accept them as they are. Why we are talking about this? Because on Gospel according to Spiritism, Allan Kardec will, like we said earlier, will wrote the chapter 8. And chapter 8 is Blessed are the pure in heart. Only that. And the main thing Kardec will comment here is the Jesus phrase. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. And Allan Kardec will start the chapter, will start his comments, saying this phrase, which is it's very remarkable, let's say. Purity of heart is inseparable from simplicity and humility, and excludes every thought of selfishness and pride. This is a very important thought. Why Kardec is saying that? He's saying that because spirits have already said to him and to us all that selfishness and pride are the root from every vice and every defect, let's say, every moral defect. Everything that we see in ourselves that is like a defect, a moral defect, if we start thinking where it comes from and we go over and over the causes and the causes, and we will understand that this defect is about selfishness or pride or even from both. And they will say to us that this is the main characteristic of us that makes us imperfection, that make us imperfect. So, what Kardec is saying is that uh, we have to go through our process, spiritual process, to improve ourselves, and in this process, we'll be invited to like abandon our selfishness, our pride, and this means purity of heart. This will lead us to purity of heart because uh, a heart is pure when it doesn't have any selfishness or pride, because we can think uh, that selfishness and pride is like hurting, um, our heart. So it's not pure yet, because we have to abandon these two main spirits called selfishness and pride, like uh, some vices that we have. So we have to abandon them so our heart become pure. That's why Kardec is like relating these two things. A heart is pure when it doesn't have any trace of selfishness or pride. And so what we understand here is for us to conduct ourselves in a good manner, and for us to act better with people and do many good things in the world, we are invited to go over our selfishness, our pride, and as a consequence of this, we are like making our hearts pure, let's say. So the good thing here is to understand why this is related to pure of heart, and why this is related to blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Where the they will see God enters here. Because when we think about God, we can think about um, another being, and we can met it, and we can talk to it, and we can like touch it, but there's a special understanding here that I would like to share with you, and I think it will it blew my mind when I read this message that I will share with you, because it makes me think about our relationships, our lives, uh, our way of understanding the world and understanding people. This message is from Emmanuel. Let me open it here. And it's called Purity. Um, I don't know if the book is translated. I think it is. Maybe John or Glaucio can confirm to us. But is um, um, it is, I think, Religion of the Spirits, or Spirits Religion. I don't know what would be the right title, the translated title. Um, and it's chapter 11. It's called Purity. And Emmanuel will talk about our theme today. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. But what is interesting is that every message in this book also comments a question from the Spirit's book. And the question Emmanuel selected is exactly the one we went through in the beginning of this live, which is the 632, that talks about to do to the others what we want the others to do to us. And why they are related? Why the blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God? Why this is related to uh, do to the others what we want the others to do to us? Because Emmanuel will give us a very wide understanding of what means see God. What what does what does see God means? And the message, I did a translation from myself. Josiah is translating. Thank you, Josiah. This is a very good book, and this will be like very important because I do love this book. And so I did a translation here, and sorry if something is not very well translated, but I think the main idea is here. So Emmanuel said, studying the words of the Divine Master, let us remember that in the world, until today, there has been no one like him with such purity in their own soul. So Jesus, as Kardec said in the Spirit's book, Jesus is the spirit, the most pure spirit that has already come to earth. And this is an important thing because Jesus Jesus is an spirit that gave us the path of purity, um, based on his actions, based on his thoughts, his words. We can understand better what purity means, because for someone in the world, purity can means that you have to exclude everyone that has vices or defects, and in a very bad way, this can means that purity excludes the world to like uh, to live with no problems, with no contradictions, with no people at the end. So Emmanuel is inviting us to look at Jesus, understanding that he is the example or the model of purity in life. How did Jesus act? How did Jesus treat people? Jesus how did Jesus talk to the others? How he did everything? So Emmanuel said, it is up to us, therefore, to remember how Jesus saw the path of life, so that we can confidently recognize that, although on earth, he knew how to find the divine presence in all situations and in all creatures. I think, this summarized the thinking here, what Emmanuel wants to pass to us, and what Emmanuel wants to teach us in this lesson. Jesus is the model of purity in earth, but this meant that he knew how to find the divine presence in all situations and in all creatures. I think this is the main important thing here, because Jesus didn't exclude anyone that didn't want to be excluded. And, Jesus knew how to find God in everyone. That's the point. Because what what can make me find God in the other is not related to how the other person is now. This is more related on how my heart is in that moment. Because Emmanuel will say in another book that we see the world through the heart. Like, we analyze people, we analyze the situations, we analyze the life from in generally speaking, we analyze everything based in our heart. So we analyze people based in our heart. So there's a phrase, I think, attributed to Freud, that is, when Peter says about Paul, I know more about Peter than Paul. Because what Peter will say about Paul is related to the way Peter sees the world, is the way Peter understands everything, and Paul. So when someone says something about the other, then it's more related to the one who's speaking, because what is inside it represents the way that it understands the world. So Jesus looked to everyone, talked to everyone, and Jesus didn't exclude anyone, because he knew That's the main point here. He knew how to find the divine presence in all situations and in all creatures. So, Emmanuel will give us some examples. For many people, Mary of Magdala was a woman without any value due to the obsessed condition in which she appeared in public life. However, he saw God in that female heart grated with suffering and converted her into a messenger of the heavenly resurrection. Resurrection. I don't know if the pronunciation is correct. Sorry. Um, Mary of Magdala is the one Jesus chose to spread the good news that he is back. He was back. He was alive. So what Emmanuel is saying is everyone was like judging or excluding Mary of Magdala, but Jesus could look at her and see God in her heart. So the problem wasn't exactly in Mary. It was in people who was who were like looking at her. For many people, Simon Peter was a rude and fickle man, unworthy of greater consideration. However, Jesus saw God in the troubled spirit of Simon, uh, and transmuted him into a paradigm of Christian faith for all centuries. When we look at Simon, um, the transformation of his heart is incredible. He could be he could be transformed into a very um, peaceful man, a very calm man, and um, when we saw things that he went through during his life, even after Jesus, uh, even when Jesus not with them anymore, we saw that Simon Peter is a very new heart in after Jesus. Uh, Emmanuel will say about Judas, will say about Saul of Tarsus, and I think these are all good examples for us to understand how Jesus treated the how Jesus treated everyone that contacts him. Um, how how Jesus could understand the strength in everyone, because since all of us are um, God's son, then it can't be that someone is like um, uh, bad in a sense, let's say. It can't be that someone is unearthly, like Emmanuel said here. No, everyone is important. Everyone is everyone has good qualities, and that's the point here. We need uh, to be able to look at everyone and understand the value of everyone. Because when we want to exclude someone, it's because we're saying that this person is not good, and this is more related to the selfishness and pride in our heart than to the other people. So, what we are invite here is to understand that everyone is important. And if we can't recognize that, if we can't understand that, it's because there are some works that we have to do into our heart so we can start recognizing it. That's what Emmanuel will end up saying. If you purify your heart in this way, you will identify the presence of God everywhere, understanding that the Creator's hope does not fade in any creature. And you will realize that evil and crime are just thorns and mud that surround the field of the soul, the brilliant divine that will come to light. This is something that we have also in the Gospel according to Spiritism. I think in I don't remember the chapter. Maybe it's chapter 11, uh, which is the law of love. And Fenelon will say that everyone has this God presence in it. Everyone everyone is a son of God, so everyone has this presence in it. So what we are invited here is to take a look, carefully look to the others, pay more attention to the others, and we will recognize that under every defect or vice we have a divine presence there. So Emmanuel says at the end, and learning and serving, helping and loving, you will pass on earth an incessant message of love, teaching men around you to convert the pond into cradle of bread, and to understand that even in the deepest of the swamp, um, and the glory of God is there. I mean, no matter how bad a person can be, the glory of God is in that person also. So that's why we are invited to go over our selfishness and pride, because um, this is explained by psychology. When we when some characteristics of the other piss me off, or when this bothers me so much that I can't stand the presence of the other. So this is more related to something that is on me, like in my heart. This is like a consequence of selfishness and pride, because I feel myself in a position that I can judge who is valuable or who is not. And the main thing here is to go over this so I can understand that everyone is important, and it's my job, it's my task to find the divine presence in everyone and in every situations. That one thing that Emmanuel said here, and I think it's very challenging, because we are invited to understand in every situation, the good situations and the bad situations, the happy situations um, and the sad situations, that God is also there. So this will require us a very pure heart, because when we feed our selfishness or our pride, let's say, we we put ourselves in a position that it's not from us, it's not for us, because we start thinking that we can determine what can happen and what cannot happen. So we start to fight with life, and the invitation here is to be more um, to be in a position trying to understand what is happening and what God wants from us, than trying to command the things. So, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God means that if we start going over and uh, getting over, sorry, and if we start getting over our selfishness and our pride, we will be more simple and humble, so we can learn from things, from situations, from people around us, and we will be more um, will be more, I think simple is the word. Will be more simple to understand the value of the situations, the value of people around us. So we stop um, judging and start like uh, the real fraternity with everyone. So we can start thinking, we can start uh, understanding what situations piss us off, so we understand our challenging for this moment. The challenge is see the divine presence in every one and every situation. See that whoever arrives in my life is a person that God wants me um, to live with, or to like to to practice good things with. And all the difficulties I have are related to my heart. So that's a very hard thing to do now, but it's a very urgent thing to do now, so we can live better and we can practice the gospel with everyone. Let me check just one thing. Yes. So this was the the message we want to talk about today. Uh, let's let's call Glossio, and thanks again for the invite, for trusting on my job and on me. And it's a very happy moment for me.
It was a happy moment for everybody as well, Gustavo. Thank you so very much. And I like the fact that you emphasize all of this need that we have to look for the good in other people. So we have several questions for you. Before we get to those, I like to share some announcements. So, so first of all, if you have not done so, register today for the 13th Spiritist Federation of Florida Conference. It is an in-person event, and it will take place in Apopka, Florida, which is in the Orlando area, and it's going to be next weekend, April 6th and the 7th. So yeah, if you have not done so, register. Is going to be awesome, with a great lineup of lecturers. Coming up next, we also have there's a new virtual course, which is Introduction to Mediumship. It is a free virtual course. It is a beginner's course. It's been offered by the U.S. Spiritist Federation. And again, it's for individuals who are eager to explore the realm of communication with spirits, or communication with the spirits according to Spiritism. So there's a QR code on the screen, and also you can register using the link provided, that https //learnspiritist.us. Also, every Friday, there is a podcast-like series. It's called Psychology and Spirituality, A Bridge to a Better Life, based on the works of Joanna de Angelis. And there's a new episode every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's available on both YouTube and Spotify. So many opportunities here for new learning. And speaking of learning, the U.S. Spiritist Federation also offers a Spiritist app. Out of all the millions of apps out there are Spiritist apps, which are great. And this one by the U.S. Spiritist Federation is called Be My Hope, and is available now on App Store or Google Play. And basically, it offers uplifting content in a collection of videos, daily messages, and audio materials. So make sure you download it now. Through, in such challenging times, like Gustavo was mentioned, it's always good to see the goodness in what happens to us. So messages like provided by the app will help us. And also, there's a QR code here on the screen. Oh, yeah, there you go. So I mean, the U.S. Spiritist Federation provides programs like this, provides publications, and works tirelessly in the dissemination of Spiritists. So if you want to help financially, there is a QR code available. And that's now, Gustavo. Let's now start addressing some comments and questions. I'm eager to see some of your answers. This topic is very is one of those topics that are so practical, so pragmatic, and they really be applied to people's lives. So this one comes from the International Spiritist Council. There's pride in the positive sense. A lot of people see pride as a positive thing. Can you explain the difference?
Yes. So I think um, our society today is teached. We are we learn that pride is a good thing, and what is the sense of pride here? Is to feel better than the others. Like is um, as we having a comparison between us and the others, and we have to feel that we are more valuable, or we are better, and in a sense that the other can be excluded. This is a very bad sense of pride, because uh, in the basis of this thought we have that I don't need the other, I don't need people, or I can exclude someone, or I can in the worst case I can do bad things to the other. But this is not a very good thinking, because uh, I think the pandemic showed us how we do need each other, how we do need technology, and how we do need um, other people work. Let's say we we eat every day because someone um, did the planting, and someone organized everything, and someone delivered this to the supermarket or even to our home. So we do need everyone, and this sense of pride that I I need to be the best. I need to um, how can I say? Uh, I need to always be the one who the highlighted one. This is not a very good sense of pride, and this is, I think, the main sense of pride that we learn during our lives. And the good sense, I think, is when we feel happy for the other. This is a good sense of pride. I feel I'm proud of you. This means I'm happy for your life, for what you were. I missed the word, like conquista. Uh,
Accomplished.
yes, that's it.
Accomplishment.
I'm happy for what you accomplished, and this is a very good sense of pride. But I think this could be like more well said as I'm happy for you. Uh, so it's not that I feel that I'm better than you. No, it's I'm happy for you and for your accomplishment. So this is a good sense. So I think this will be the difference.
Excellent. Thank you very much. This comes from the US Spiritist Federation. How can we find the divine presence in others without being naive and avoiding being taken advantage of by unscrupulous people?
Good question. Uh, Again, Jesus is our model. So when we go through the gospel pages and we see how Jesus treat the religious people, we will see that we have to be how can I say?
Firm, be firm, or
I'm sorry.
firm, be
Yes,
firm.
firm,
Mhm.
but good and firm. Like
Mm.
we that the main thing here is find the divine presence in the other doesn't mean that we will accept everything that the other does. No, this means that we won't judge anyone, we won't exclude anyone, but we have to be like vigilant. We have to be aware of things that the other can do, even more to us and to other people. But find the divine presence is to um, never stop believing that the other can grow up and the other can improve. So we can understand that the other is still far away from any change, and in some cases, we can avoid the contact just because we want to wait a bit more so the other can like understand its mistakes and its actions, let's say. So find the divine presence doesn't mean that we will believe that everyone is good already. No, this means that we won't stop believing that the other can improve, and if it's possible, if we can, if it's not in our hand to do so, we give chances, we can give opportunities, but like Glaucio said, being firm with them and making them understand that we are not naive or uh, we're not unvigilant about them.
Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you.
So that's from Fernanda Ottoni. Gustavo, but look for Ted Bundy and Suzanne von Richthofen and see God. Is only for Jesus? Not everybody is God's son, daughter, but sometimes it is difficult to exclude someone. Two very interesting examples, right? Two people who committed murder, basically, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think this is an important understanding. Some things I won't be able to do actually, but this doesn't mean that this thing is not needed to be done. It doesn't mean it just means that I cannot do now, but I have to work my heart. I have to work on my heart to be able to believe that these examples Fernanda brought to us, uh, they are also spirits in their process of evaluation, I think. Um, so is a very good thing to understand. I can't do everything now, but I have to put my heart in a such condition that I can still believe in the other. Of course, I don't know exactly how to treat every crime or every murder, but I know that the main thing here is how I feel about it. And many people in the world, around the world, feel that they have to judge who commit the murder or the crime, and we adopt the position, a such position, that we understand that we are not in the judgment position, and we are more in a condition to pray for them or to wish the best from them. It doesn't mean that we'll like live with them or build a relationship with them. No, I can far away pray for them and wish the best, so they can go through the process, um, and um, I miss the word, is like,
Evolve, grow, evolve.
yeah, evolve, grow, but resolver o problema com a lei,
Okay,
assim.
just to solve the whatever issues with the law, to be
Yeah, yeah,
accountable. Basically, to be accountable by human laws, basically,
yeah,
laws
yeah,
of man.
and God laws
And
also.
God laws as well. Okay, got you, got you. Yeah, that's interesting that you mentioned something, the process of evolution, right? That's what you're saying, that, even those spirits, they also have a process of evolution. Interesting, thank you. From our friend Kirsten D. Santos, I love the reminder about thinking about what others need, not what we think they need when performing charity. Too often, we do to others without thinking about what they need the most. That's a very interesting point.
Yeah, very interesting point. I think, I mean, I remember once a guy entered in the center, in our spirit center, and this guy was very like, I think pissed off is the word.
So he was
Uh,
irate. He was irate. He was mad. Okay,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. And I asked him what went wrong. I mean, he went through a house to visit a family and to deliver some food to them, and he came back saying, I went to their house to give them food, and they get me into a conversation of 2 hours, and I have my appointments, I have things to do, and I take a look to him and said, but they probably they didn't need the food, they need the conversation. What what have you proposed for yourself, to give them what you think they need, or to give them what they really need? Because maybe they didn't need the food, they just need to get some advice or to just talk. I mean, so this is a very interesting thing, very important thing. What is charity? Like, give people what we think people need, or give them what they really need? This is a very good point, actually.
Very interesting. Thanks for clarifying that. Yasko Arakawa. Hi, Gustavo. Very challenging to be pure in heart and make correct decisions in the times we are in. Through the fast speed of social media, more and more interacting with people from different cultures with unique ethical and moral values. What tips may you offer to us in this issue?
Good question. Thank you, Yasko. So, what I'm trying to do to myself is to understand that I'm not in control of everything. I mean, there are many things that will happen, even though I don't want, or even though I cannot avoid. So, this brings me um, to my daily life, and what I can do to people around me, and how can I start feeling better to the others that are around me, because the the world is in a very hard moment, as you mentioned, and I would like to just to get the phrase of um, spirit of truth. Let me give me just 1 second. It's already open here. Um, it's because I think it's a very uh, it's a very important thing here. Is the phrase that ends the first message in chapter 6. The item is the coming of the Spirit of Truth, and it's item 5, and is the phrase that ends this message. So it's the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 6, item 5, and at the end we have the Spirit of Truth saying, Jesus Christ is the victor of over evil. Is Victor or Victor? The pronunciation.
Oh, it's Victor.
Victor, okay. Jesus Christ is the victor of over evil. Be victors over impiety. Why this is important? Because the evil from the world, it's something related to Jesus. We have to take care of the evil that exists in ourselves. This is not a selfishness position, because it doesn't mean that I won't care about the other. It just means that I will care about the thing that I really can do something about, which is my heart. So my what I can say on this is, take care of your heart to stop desiring the bad or the evil to the others. Take care of your heart to stop um, doing the bad things to the other as much as you can. I think this is the main point for us now, because the evil of the world is related to Jesus.
Okay, next question for the U.S. Spiritist Federation. Can you explain the resurrection of Jesus according to Spiritism?
Good. Yes, very, very good question for the moment we are now, right? Because tomorrow is the Resurrection Sunday. Uh, so in Genesis chapter 14, Allan Kardec will talk about this. So I recommend the reading of this chapter or the whole book if possible, but if it's not, chapter 14. And what Allan Kardec will explain there is that the resurrection of Jesus is, I think the word is materialization. I don't know if this is correct, but it's
Yeah, that's the correct term.
yeah, thank you. So it's not like putting a dead body into life again, but is to materialize another body, let's say, which has all the aspects of a real body, but it's just some work with the fluids, let's say, because if we understand on Spiritism, we understand that bring a dead body to life again, this is like incompatible with the God laws. So we believe that the body is dead, but the spirit is not. So the spirit can even more Jesus, like we're talking about the the spirit responsible to all the world. So he could like let's say build another body, but this is not um, this is just materialized, let's say. So we understand that phenomenon, and it's pretty compatible with all the laws, with natural laws and God laws.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for the explanation. Actually, that question alone could be a whole lecture, right? That's very
Yeah, because that's why I recommended the chapter 14, because I think Kardec's explanation is very very well based and very well done, let's say. So I
noted.
think it will be a good reading.
Excellent. We have one last question for you from the U.S. Spiritist Federation. How can we identify the good in challenging times when it feels like everything in our lives is going wrong?
Cool. I think I think we have two points to go through here. One point is it can be that our lives is not as good as we want, or as said in the question, our lives is going wrong, because we are not doing as much as we can. So God allows us to go through bad moments so we can understand that we can do better, or we can do more effort, or or anything like that. So this is because God loves us. So so God understands that we're um, not using all of our strengths. So it allows us to go through bad moments, so um, we can wake these strengths in our spirit, let's say. So this is one reason. Uh, but there is another way of thinking, because sometimes we are actually doing our best. We're doing everything we can. But even in these cases, we went through bad things. So, uh, Spiritism will say that expiação
Expiation, yes, that's it.
expiation. Okay. So, Spiritism clarify us about expiation and um, about situations that are actually moments that we are going through to do different from what we have been doing from a long time. So this is a situation for me to prove faith, and for me um, to prove to myself that I'm getting better. So many situations that in the past led me to complain or even to commit some crimes. Now I went through these situations again. This is not a good situation, but on this situation I understand that sometimes I have to wait a bit. Sometimes I have to be patient. Sometimes I have to keep on doing the best, even though the situations are not the the best situations we can have. So I think if we understand these 2 points, these two main points, we can start understanding the good in every situation, and even more in the challenging situations, because um, they are and to summarize everything, the bad situations allow us uh, to keep faith, and to keep um, patience. I mean, patient to proving that we understand that the bad situations also have ending time. Like, it will end sometime. So we have to do our best and trust in God. So this bad moment will end up in
Yeah.
in some time.
Like the saying goes, right? These two shall pass, right? These two shall pass. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. Gustavo, thank you very much. That was a very inspiring lecture. I learned a lot, so I appreciate it. So, and thank you for everyone who's watched today's live talk, and those have been following the weekly Spiritist talk series. So next Saturday, April 11th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So do not miss. We will have a reprise of the Q&A session that we had at the Spiritist Symposium, and the Q&A was about spiritual paths to mental balance. So do not miss it out. It's going to be very educational, very inspirational. So a great opportunity for reflection. Gustavo, thank you again. And before we close the live, would you be so kind to say the final prayer for us?
Sure, let's go. First of all, I would like to thank you, Glaucio, for all your support, and also thanks to the United States Spirits Federation. So uh, I can be here and having this moment with all of you, and it was a pleasure to me. And let's go for our final prayer. Thanks, Lord, for this moment, for this opportunity. Thanks for the gospel. Thanks for the spiritism that help us to have another look, to have another eyes for the world, for the people. And if we can ask anything, we would like to ask for help to keep in our path, to keep learning, to keep growing, to keep improving our heart so we can achieve one day to see God in every situation and everyone around us. We would like to have your help, your presence, so we do not give up. And thanks for all spiritual friends that helped us in this live talk so we can get to the end with grateful heart and hopeful heart to the to our next week and to our lives. God may bless us all.